Hi everyone, welcome back for another whiskey review. Well, I am very excited tonight because one of my most favorite whiskeys are on the table. And so here tonight, hopefully you've been following the series. I am still working my way through my luxury advent calendar that was very graciously gifted to me many years ago. And I am on whiskey number 6 tonight. And there's a double reason why I'm excited. Obviously, Dalmore is one of my favorite distilleries. Love them. And I've been to Dalmore, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But also, last night's whiskey, the Pete's Big Calf Strength, the disappointment. Hopefully tonight, well, actually not hopefully, I know for a fact tonight I'm going to drink something very nice that's going to lift the game back up. Because as you would have hopefully seen by now, I started on the Dalwhinnie 21, Glenfiddich 21, lovely, beautiful Swedish single malt aged champagne casks. Glenfarclas 25, and then last night's, yeah. But now we're on to something truly special. One of my favorite distilleries, and when I went to Scotland in 2018, I made the point to drive, that's the furthest north I actually made, just above Inverness, to Dalmore. And it's a whiskey that I've been drinking for some time, especially the 12 and the 15. And in fact, 15 is one of my top 5 solid official bottlings. You know, I've drank many bottles of it over the years. And it was actually a bottle that I opened for my first ever whiskey tasting I did. Well, don't remember how many years ago that was, but I just wanted all of the best stuff laid out that night, and I made sure a bottle of Dalmore 15 was in there. Because it was one of those early whiskies, the Dalmore 15, and even the Glenlivet 15 actually, that introduced me to the sherry cask aging, and it kind of made me stop. You know, this is long before I took a deep dive into understanding what the different casks do, what the different sherry types are. But I remember drinking the first time, I guess, the Glenlivet 15 or the Dalmore 15 for that matter, and thinking, whoa, this tastes very different. This is not tropical fruits, and this is not honey and vanilla. I'm getting spice. Where did the spice come from? And obviously, as I've kind of counted my pennies, made a few dollars over the years, I've come across this luxurious dram, the Dalmore 18, which has doubled in price in the last 5 to 6 years, I have to say. But hopefully by the end of the video, I've convinced you to definitely invest in a bottle. Aged in white oak bourbon barrels, but also Matusalem sherry casks. And you look at that lovely color there. And bottled at 43% ABV. I'm actually not doing justice to this review, but I know the purpose of this series was to open the box, drew the 24 samples, and then obviously I have not been doing reviews for some time, so I'm getting back in the habit of it. But I wish I had the Dalmore 18 bottle here properly, because it's a beautiful bottle with the emblem on top. It's just the work of art. Right, let's see what's it like on the nose. Again, like if you watch the Glenfarclas 25 review, I said orange peel, and that's what I get just up front, just a little bit of very subtle. It's not like in a significant way, just very little. Almost reminds me of this particular English chocolate, orange flavored chocolate, actually. I forget the name of it, yeah. Ooh, a little bit of vanilla. Hints of cinnamon. And maybe I guess like carrying on with the chocolate theme, just the hint of dark chocolate. But it's just not coming to me. It's a particular orange flavored chocolate you get from England. It was gifted to me, and I once bought it with my own money here in New Zealand. And if you open the chocolate, that's in a bowl, and it kind of breaks into slices, which kind of look like orange slices. Beautiful chocolate. That's what it's reminding me of right now on the nose. I wish I actually had some of the chocolate to pair with this. All right, let's see what this beautiful whiskey is like on the palate. Wow. Oh, 1,000 thank yous to the Scotch whiskey gods for lifting the game up from the sheer disappointment of the Big Pete or whatever that was last night. The real average entry level dram that somehow snuck into this luxury box. Because this is a banger. 10 out of 10. My palate is just full of very gentle spice. So like a dusting of dark chocolate. The little bit of orange is there. But just like the spice and the sweetness is in the perfect amount. And here's a bold statement, all right? Obviously tried the Balvenie Glenfiddich, that's how the box started. The Balvenie, the finish, I didn't really care for. The Glenfiddich's finish was medium to long, and the Glenfarclas was actually quite decent. I liked it, it had legs. And I like to think this 18-year-old is at par in terms of mouthfeel, but also the legs, the finish again of the whiskey. And that's one of the biggest ways I always judge a whiskey, is how long the essence, the flavors are lingering on my palate. And if it's changing, is it unlocking more flavors? And this is definitely medium to long. I wouldn't say it's super long, because only 43% ABV. I wish it was more, but definitely lingering for a long, long time. Wow. And that sort of aftertaste goes from that sort of spice, the dark chocolate, into more ripe, sort of ripe fruit. You know, I want to say cherries, maybe like a ripe cherry. It's not citrusy or tarty, but yeah, just like a ripe cherry. Really, really nice. Let's talk about price. Like I said earlier at the start of the video, you know, it has doubled in price, which is it's sitting in the Macallan territory now. So like in New Zealand, it goes from anywhere between around $450 to $500 New Zealand to $600, because it depends on which batch you're getting, because the newer batches are just going up and up in price. But hey, what are you going to do? Someone like me, I love Dalmore, and I would happily spend that kind of money on a very special bottle. Obviously, depending on what kind of income you're on, you don't want to buy a $600 bottle every weekend, but it will 100%, as I said about the Glenfarclas 25, it can be that special whiskey that you put it on the back of the cabinet and just get a dram or two out of it every now and then just to reward yourself. 100% worth it. And if you haven't already, start on the 12, work yourself to 15, and then by the time you get to 18, you're going to be very, very happy. And again, not doing justice, I guess, probably to the review, because I do actually have an open bottle of Dalmore 18 in my collection. I should have had it out tonight just to show you the bottle, just the most beautiful bottle. And the crest on top is just, it's all very, very magical. But you'll be able to look them up online, obviously, if you Google the photo. Well, that's all I've got to say about this particular whiskey. I've just had a lot of fun tonight, and I'm like just absolutely amped for what's going to be the whiskey for tomorrow night. If you're liking the content, please like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow night with another whiskey review. See you later. Bye-bye.